Gomang, I think. And he's a wonderful Western style writer. Like the best one of all is Tony Lama. He's off the charts. But we have all his stuff already. So I wanted to do Jamyang Shepa. Okay. It's just really good. And you can't say that in Sarah. But he is really, really good. So I thought we could start there. And, you know, and there are more famous people like Buddha Rinpoche, but his works are not as readable. And Jamyang Shepa is very, very well educated, very, very prolific.
I have to switch to another.
And I have to say that the things they chose to input, which was Jason's era, were very useful. They made good choices about what to input. But then it came to us and got bottlenecked because we didn't put it into the database. Because we didn't have time. So we're going to follow. Did Phil give you a form? Because I have a form if we don't have something.
I don't believe so, no.
A cataloging form.
No.
Which means when you put a work into the database, you should catalog it.
You should. How many pages does it have?
We did get a list of fields to fill out. Yeah.
You have that? Can you bring it up?
I didn't bring it. He actually did a printout. Yeah. He
That's so retro.
Of example catalog entries.
Well, I'll use mine, which is overkill, and then whatever he needs will be on there. Okay. Where is Phil today?
Not sure.
Is there a football game or something? I think we just get going, and then you can. Did he hear about today?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is he mad at me for something? No. I just didn't come. Okay. Okay, so there's a couple of things we should do. I'll show you what they are. There are separate catalogs in Tibet with a list of the works written by these people. So it'd be safe to get one of those catalogs and follow it as well as we can, because different editions have different order of books. So I propose we go cut out Jamyang Shepa's information from that catalog. So which catalog would that be, Adam? Just guess.
Yeah, this one? Just follow this.
No, Native Tibetan catalog, written recently.
We say the hold on. Yeah,
I'll give you the first syllable. Okay, so it's here under shade there. Okay, which is again I was limited to 8. We haven't updated these yet. It's still under 8 letters. Shade there is shade there. And here it is here. I don't know which. It has 3 volumes. And we're going to look for Jamyang Shepa's. Where is he? Okay. Now, these are 3 volumes were printed over the course of like 15 years or 20 years. And it's an excellent catalog of all the important Tibetan writers. And it's alphabetical. So they had the foresight to choose the authors in the first year and then put out the catalog over a course of 15, 20 years. So I don't know who's running that project, but they're really cool. So we go to the first one. I want you to do this.
Okay. Sorry, I have to send everyone a new link. So
okay, I'm going to start until you're ready.
Yeah, the new one. I just sent out a link to everyone. We weren't recording the last one, so I had to go and set up a new one. Sorry.
No, tell me when you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready now.
I want you to do what I'm doing. Well, let me do it for you.
You've got that first.
I'm searching which of the 3 volumes is he found in. Yeah, Gomang. Okay, good. So he's here. He's in the 2nd volume, which is the catalog number is R0010 in our system. There. So I want Adam to translate this. Jamyang Shepa, right? What's Kuten?
The string of persons, emanations.
Yeah, meaning his incarnations. So after he passed away, people decided he was so cool he must have incarnations, tukus, and not as usual. Not all of them were stellar, but some of them were. So there are other Jamyashipas. So when you say Jamyashipa, you have to be careful. You have to specify his monk's name, which was Ngawang Sundru. Okay, cool. The best one, the first one. Usually the first one's the most extraordinary. In the case of he whose name must not be mentioned, the current one is pretty amazing as a leader or as a personality, and but the first one was, and the second one was amazing, and the seventh one was amazing. So anyway, Ngawang Sundru. Okay, Ngawang Sundru. So we'll go to page 114 of R0010. So R0010. Oops. I think you hit the wrong one. You gotta open R0010 in a. You can use text edit or you can use Word. Doesn't matter.
Just setting it up to open.
Okay. By the way, until he gets that up, you can see an author's relative importance normally by the quantity material they put out. It's not a kyaba, but it's an indicator. And when you have this catalog up in front of your face, you can count the number of pages of catalog that they got devoted to them. You see what I mean? So here, the first person, Shahar Geshe, he has 22 pages of, see the difference between 1 and 23? And then the second author has 10 pages. The third author has 7 pages. The next one has 10. The next one has 14. The next one has 3, which is and John Nangba, who's very important, right? He has 8. And then look how many Jamyashepa has. No, 114 to 131. 17 pages of just the list of the things he wrote is 17 pages long. So that means he's probably a major writer. It's not necessarily the case because sometimes people write 3-page poems and 200 of them, and 1700s. Okay. Are you ready? So I want you to look for Jamyashepa again in the same document.
Okay.
That should be enough.
Okay.
Ooh. Because we have to find where his collected works start in this document.
I just got really nervous.
Which is right here. Okay, page 113. By the way, when you're in a text which was input from a Western style book, you can use the @ sign, which is the page number. So we saw that his work started on page 114, right? So you can just search for @ sign plus 114, and you'll be on the first page of his works. Oh, John and I had a discussion this morning. Kurt Kreutzer, who's an old friend at UC Berkeley, who owned a computer company, who's a professor at Berkeley now, and I said he must be getting on in retirement age. I don't know. No, but he took over an existing project, by the way, which was a part of an older project, which started in the 80s at Bell Labs in New Jersey, to OCR the Tibetan text, which would put our centers out of business. And so, people told me this is possible in 10 years, Geshe-la, or something like that. I said, I might be dead in 10 years. Let's get input. And it's been 30 years. And so they said they got it, they did it, and they started inputting large amounts of text, OCRing it. But I believe, and we have to confirm it, so we have to talk to Kurt, I believe that they are OCRing newly printed books because it's standard. They're using computer letters. And those are easy to OCR. And you could do that with you could teach Adobe to do that. Uh, but TBRC's database is probably 25% modern books. Modern editions of woodblock. You see, they take a woodblock print and they type it, and then they throw out the data. They use the computer as a typewriter, and they throw out the data. We tried to have a program to buy their data before they threw it out. Like they've done all the Congress and Tingers and thrown out the data, you know, and it is. But every time you OCR, you make some errors. So it'd be better to have the data. But anyway, we don't want that data. Why?
Well, we've got to employ
No,
that.
their standards of accuracy are much lower than ours. They just want to get a book out, and no one can check it. No one can say there's a mistake on every page, because nobody can read it. You see what I mean? So they don't type them twice and compare them 3 times. They just type them, and then somebody reads it. And they could leave out a page and nobody would know. So the last thing we want to do is OCR those. If they're OCRing wood blocks, then the question becomes how many errors per page, because you still have to hire someone to detect the errors, and then you need a geshe. So because every OCR program makes mistakes, like OCR anything with Adobe with your printer at home, and I don't know, it makes a mistake like 10 characters out of 100 or something. So it's probably really useful and important, but if they're not using block prints, they're introducing errors that we're avoiding. We're introducing new errors also because our people misread it, but we're probably introducing less. But anyway, it's important to get in touch with him and see what he's doing. We'll talk about the best strategy for that. He tried to pay us to input all the Vajrayogini text at one point, and we were not that cooperative. Okay, I think. Or we didn't get it together. We agreed to try and we didn't do it. It was our fault. I think. Okay, so here's his. Let's take a quick look at his collected works so you can get familiar with it. Okay. What's this number, Adam? Tell me what this number is, Parma. We talked about it like two times in the last few days.
This is, gosh.
This is a volume in their library, a physical volume in their library, like those books up there on the. Each one of those would be a Parma. It means a volume that's wrapped in a cloth. Okay, it means like that. And this is the 853 third volume in their library, and in Tibetan, the number is Ka, which means the first volume of his collected works. Okay, tell me what these two numbers are after the first title.
Let's see.
You can. What's this 1 and what's this 8? What are the two numbers after the first word? You can guess if you look below.
Oh, the number of pages?
The 8 is the number of pages. The 1 is the order in volume.
So it's the fascicle.
It's the order in the volume. It's the first work in volume Ka. JB, that's why I wasn't so excited about Jason's thing, because I put this information in every catalog entry already. It said this is the third work in volume 5 of Detsun Kappa. So you don't have to physically put the files together. It doesn't mean anything. Anyway. Yeah. Is he helping? No. Is he? What's he doing there? Oh, that's too bad. Well, maybe we could see what we do. So remind me. That might be interesting. Okay. Anyway, so let's scroll down. Pay attention to the numbers in parentheses. And this number 116 is the page number of the paper book that they typed from. It was a Western style book. How do you know it was a Western style book? Yeah, there's no AB. Okay. Now we hit this Parma on page 117. We hit this Parma. What is that? It's the next volume. okay, of his collected works, and it starts with Ka. A revolutionary thing that ACIP did is we took the works out of the context of the volume they're in. Okay, like you can put Romeo and Juliet in the same volume as Love's Labor Lost, but to insist that they have to be kept together in the same volume is meaningless, unless they were put in the volume by chronology or something. It doesn't make any difference. In these volumes, there'll be a work about Vajrayogini next to a work about Vinaya next to a history of somebody's stupa, and they're not ordered normally much by subject matter. There's no reason to be anal about keeping them in the same volume or something. The students do. After the dude dies, the students say this was important, let's keep this in his collected works. And then different students and different monasteries make their own additions. So, you know, what was included in the Kangyur in Nartang Monastery isn't the same as what was included in the Kangyur in the Lhasa Shulparkang edition. You see what I mean? So, okay, there's volume 2, Ka. How many works in volume 2, Adam? 20, right? Down to here.
Oh, 19, 20.
Yeah, okay. So I just want you guys to get used to, I mean, something we did which people didn't really grasp, we took the works out and treated them separately. We don't care what volume they're in. That's like saying, we don't care where Romeo and Juliet is in volume 2 or volume 3. It doesn't matter. It's a separate work. It should be treated on its own. To the Library of Congress, for, I don't know, 100 years, cataloged the Tibetan works by volume. Okay, if you're looking for Lamrim Chenmo, you don't find it. You'll find volume 2, but you won't find anything that says Lamrim Chenmo is in volume 2. It's extraordinary. The whole PL40 was based on volumes, you know, and we broke that. And so that's what we're doing today. We're taking separate works and treating them with the respect that they deserve, because this is what he wrote about Vajrayogini. Or then you put it on the right shelf, the right digital shelf. And then everybody who wants to know about Vajrayogini can go to the Vajrayogini shelf and see all the works. It doesn't matter who wrote it. They don't have to go fishing. That green logic book, it has an unprecedented bibliography of logic work in Tibet. It's the first book we ever printed in hell. Guess how I did it? Well, I typed it on a Tibetan typewriter, but no, how did I get the information? I went to Colombia and I camped there for days and days, and I checked in every book, 8,000 books. I opened every book to see if there was a logic book. I had to do that. I had to open every single book. Okay, that's the LC. That's the Library of Congress system. That was the PL40. Okay. He didn't really ever grasp what I was doing. I hate to say it. No, he didn't understand it. But his main task was to make sure every volume was preserved physically. And he didn't really care about what each separate work was there. Okay, tell me now how many, we got da, ta, da, na. How many books are there if it only goes to na? Gotcha, that, very good. Ba, pa, ba. Ma. Okay, now page 129. I want you guys to read me the first line here. What's that mean? Tsomba means to initiate a trip, to start off a trip, or any task, but it came to mean to compose a book. So they don't call writer, they call composer. So the composer, Tsomba Po. Po always means, Papo means a plumber, teacher, okay? Papo, means his
story.
story. This gu is not gu, it's goose. Gu, which this gu means his story. And oftentimes Logi means a fictional story, but they've used the word here as his biography. What's the formal word for biography? Namtar, good. Nyungdu means just a brief one. And they give you like a 2 to 3 page biography of this person with correct dates and with major teachers and students, which is very important for figuring out the lineage of a person whose dates you don't know. You see what I mean? Or his dates. So if you ever need short biographies of a person, like if you wanted to put one up on the ACI website and say, when you click on him, you get to have a little biography of him in English. That's like for your graduate students. They should translate those little snippets because they're very well done. They're the best. They're the best ever done. They're accurate and they're short. So I used it, for example, when I gave I think in YSI, I did no, I did a Longdol, I think, or Bhutan Rinpoche. Yeah, I did Bhutan Rinpoche's the biography because he wrote the commentary to the Niguma series. He collected the Niguma series. So I gave a short biography of his life. You know. Yeah, I can hardly remember. So anyway, I just keep making you familiar with him, okay? In theory, you could go through here and take the last number in each volume and add them up and get the total number of books that we should come up with by the time we end this exercise. You want to do that now? Let's do it, okay? Somebody keep a count somewhere. And Adam's going to call out the numbers. We go back to Ka,
Okay. Ka.
Which is on page 114.
Okay.
So you go to the last volume in Ka, the last text in Ka, and see what's the number in the parentheses.
31.
Is it? Everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay, somebody keeping track? 31 plus. But that's volume 1, okay? 30. Keep it by volume because we need it later. We'll make sure we get that many in each volume, assuming we have the same edition input, which we may not.
20.
If they were carved at a separate monastery, there might be a different number in the first volume. Okay, 20 for volume 2. Volume 3.
25.
Correcto mundo.
6.
Volume 4. No.
7. That's 14.
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, that's I did. Yeah, 15.
15. Okay, in volume 4. How many in volume 5?
1.
1. Good. Yeah, Cha has only one work in it. It happens to be a Yamantaka commentary.
For Cha is 2.
Cha has only 2. They're both Vinaya commentaries. Okay.
Cha is
Cha has
5.
5. Good. Those are commentaries on perfection of wisdom. Okay. Nya.
Nya is 6.
6.
Ta is 1.
Yeah, Ta is a commentary on Madhyamika. Okay. Ta.
Ta is let's see, 1 in there. Well, no, hold on. Sorry. No, 8.
8. Ta is 8. Those are commentaries on Abhidharma, by the way. See, it's going all over the place.
Ta is 7.
Ta is 7. Correcto mundo.
Na.
By the way, that last thing there, a separate commentary on the Four Noble Truths, really, Arya Truths, sorry. No. 4. What's that about? That last word there. Change. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see he has a wide range.
Pa is 3.
Yeah, on the subject of?
Let's see, it's Hemanamdra on valid perception.
All pramana. All pramana. Pa has
Pa
Pa
is
has
3 as well.
3. Those are all, look, what is this? What's Dupta?
It's philosophical tenets.
Yeah, Siddhanta. It's different schools.
Pa is Pa.
Pa,
Pa. Um,
Pa. Has how many?
Pa. No.
Pa has 14, right? You comfortable?
Yeah.
Sambapo is the end of the catalog. When you start seeing prose, it's you're not in the catalog anymore. You see, if you don't see numbers, you're not in the catalog anymore.
Yeah,
So it's
it's right here.
14 for the last
Okay.
volume.
I was looking for the Parma
Oh, yeah, okay.
overshot.
Okay, what's our total?
Tashi, Chuling.
Can you guys agree? Wait, read them to Kat. Read your numbers to Kat.
6.
Yeah, it's 6. That is not a problem. You want to confirm that?
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Can you confirm that? Yeah, okay. All right, so that's by the time we finish, which we probably won't have time. We definitely won't have time by tomorrow. But by the time we finish this exercise, we better have that many catalog numbers used up. Okay? And that way we're not missing anybody. Question for you guys. Off the top of your head, do you think that everything in his collected works is written by him? Why not?
Sometimes the works by their students are included, right?
Well, a couple days ago we had a sutra in the middle of his works, okay? But that's very rare. But it's very common that there'll be a couple of biographies of him written by his students. And those are most often be either at the beginning or the end of the collected works. So I'm just trying to get you familiar with how you treat someone's body of writings, which is the real meaning of the word.
Catalog?
Dee, 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 dee. What do you call in Tibetan the body of a particular lama's right? Yeah, sumbum. That's the real meaning of sumbum. What do the parts of the word sumbum mean? Boom means 100,000, which is why kumbum is called kumbum, where you might visit. So ku means holy image of their body on the leaves of the tree, and boom means 100,000. So kumbum is called kumbum. Why do you say kum if it's ku boom?
Nasal?
Yeah, the prenasal before a B, which is a label, is a
No.
M. So kumbum. And if people will misspell it, Tibetans who can't write very well will say K-U-M, B-U-M. You see what I mean? In Tibetan, which is an error. All right. So sumbum means what?
Holy utterances.
Yeah, of the person's, the word, the speech of the person. So boom came to mean a zillion or a jillion. And so sumbum doesn't mean there's 100,000 books in there. It means his or her, enormous speech. Meaning, they taught so much. Okay. So it would be a mistake to call the Gurbum of Milarepa the 100,000 songs. Okay. Yeah.
A gajillion.
Yeah. Okay. So someone's got to keep the catalog up for us.
Okay.
Somebody has to stay on this page. You got to find R0010. And is it up on your computer? Are you in his catalog? Go to Ka, which is Parma number 853, I think. Okay? And you're going to park there. Okay? All right. Now the next element of this exercise is the following. We go to ACIP cataloging on my computer, and Here's an ancient document called no, that's not the one I want. E- do you remember what numbers he gave us to play with? Was it 15,000 series?
I think it was anything above 15,000. I can.
There's a cataloging entry form. Let me see. See how long I haven't.
Available catalog numbers?
No, don't stress about that. I think he gave us the 15,000 series. But I used to have a form.
Oh, it was anything above 14, I believe.
You want to ask him, or
Yeah, I can.
we better ask him. Yeah, where's that? Where'd you find it? What's the name of the file? Uh, it's called catalog form.
Should I just write him an email, quick email, or should I call him?
What is this?
It's Dropbox. It's similar subject categories. Also, similar catalogs to be
Oh,
catalog.
I see what I'm doing wrong. Cancel. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's in the. Well, hang on. I'm just wondering where it is on my machine. Okay, let's try that. The problem is you get a lot of hits, as you notice. Okay, so you can see we've changed it. So let's look at the dates on these. February, July. But that was from 2004. I'm just checking because there's two. They look like the same thing. Okay, so here we go, Adam. You're going to have this document up on your machine. And, okay, it should look like this. Or can you send it to him? You want somebody to send it?
Just pulled it up. 2012.
Don't use 212.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to get it from you then.
You want to send it to him?
I'll turn it on.
Good.
I should have been paying attention to this last few.
I'm looking at that cake, but I think Yoga's standing between me and that cake. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
I think it should be.
6 o'clock. We have to have a ceremony. It's a birthday party.
Do I have to do anything special? I think so.
Anybody have a flash disk?
This she's sending it to me, so do I have to open? Where is it?
I have one right here.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Go.
You can tell I use that feature all the time, don't you?
No, you do it faster. Go.
Yeah, it's you can airdrop it if you want. Yeah. Okay. My karma's working that way today.
Okay, so what you see on my screen here is my overkill version of the cataloging form. If you're going to put a book in the database, I want all of this information. You see what I mean? TBRC is really good at it because Gene Smith was good at it because he was a librarian. Okay, so I'm just going to go down to the items I think are important. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Or I better wait for Adam, maybe. He's got it. I got all kinds of stuff here. The good stuff and the bad stuff. And the ugly stuff. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Catalog number is self-evident. We used to use 4 numbers, we now use 5. Why? We got over 9,999 books now. So we started using 5 numbers, okay? And so it's important for us not to repeat an existing catalog number. So we haven't used numbers over 15,000 yet at all. So if we're going to get paid and have the man-woman power to do major work on this effort, we should stick to some numbers that we haven't used yet, and we should reserve them. So I pose, and that's really with Phil, that 15,000 series belongs to Adam. You see what I mean? So he'll use 15,000. People freaked out when I didn't use consecutive numbers for this effort. Why didn't I? It don't matter anymore. You know? Consecutive catalog numbers were important in the days of paper. They have no meaning in the days of computers. You're not looking at the next catalog number. It doesn't matter if it's the 1,000th book in your list or the first one in your list. It doesn't matter anymore. You see what I mean? So, and it would be foolish to say he's got 140, how many was it?
44?
Compositions? It'd be foolish to say he has 125 compositions. So let's reserve 15,000 to 15,145 for Jami Shepa, and then start with the next number with another author. Why is that foolish? You'll find more books by him. Or you'll find out that people didn't split it right. And there's really 10 more, there's 20 more, there's 100 more. You see what I mean? So you can't pre-assign these numbers, and it don't matter anyway. The computer will sort by Jami Shepa, and then they'll spit out all the books by him. So it doesn't matter if the catalog number is correct. Well, then why don't we throw out the catalog number? You need a unique identifier. Okay, good. Catalog number, input file name. Isn't that the same as the catalog number? So let's say a typical work by Justin Kappa is S. What's S stand for? Sumbun. 05001. Okay, that might be a typical number for Justin Kappa. S05001. Okay. So why don't we just use that for the input file name? Nope. It's actually the input file catalog number. I'm sorry, no. What this second thing is that in the early days back in India, until yesterday or last month, they would make up a word for his collected works. They'd say, this is volume 1 of Jam B, Jam Yang, right? And then they would just make up file names. And we'd have to figure it out when it got here. Now we pre-assign the file names. We tell them this is going to be called this, but we didn't do it before, okay? So if you have archived data, if you have data from 1985, or sorry, 1995, then, and you want to find 5 pages that are missing, you go back to that huge archive, you pull out, this will tell you which file to pull out, Jam B. You see what I mean? That tells you historically what was the archive number, Language of the main text, like Sanskrit or English or Tibetan or Chinese, okay, Pali. Other languages in the book. Brief title. What do I mean by brief title?
The abbreviated title?
Many well-known Tibetan books have a nickname, like
Gongsa?
Lamrim Chamo, which is really, Changchuki, Lamki, Rimpe, Nyamchi, Cham, what, Then the brief title translated into English. So it's nice to have in the catalog the great books on the step of the path. For someone who can't read Tibetan, they can still find it. Okay. Full title, like Namdo Lakchang, Liberation Upon Your Hands. The full title is like 2 lines long, 3 lines long. Okay. Full title, author's name translator, and author's name pronunciation. You know they're not the same. 90% of Tibetan, of university-educated scholars and Sanskrit scholars mix them up in the same book. That's why Vimala and me are spending so many hours cleaning up the work of the best yoga scholar in the world. Okay? And we have to clean it up. In the same word, he mixes up pronunciation and transcription, and everybody does. So you have to separate them. Okay? What's his name in Tibetan? Jams, Dapal, Bajad, Ba. Okay, Ngag, Bang, Redson, Agras. Okay, and then what's his pronunciation? Okay, so it's important to have both because there might be people using the database who don't know how to spell. Okay, it's just going to be that way. Okay, dates of the author. I like to confirm the dates through a separate source. I don't trust other people's work. That's just a principle of my life. I don't trust TBRC's work. They're not geshes. They found a date somewhere. It looks good to them. I don't accept a date unless I confirm it in a Tibetan source. Okay, that's just the way I do things. Okay, so we will be checking our own dates. Okay. What happens is this cultural pollution. One person makes a mistake and everyone copies it from generation to generation. And you get stuff like 100,000 songs of Milarepa. Yeah. And everyone thinks that's okay. You see what I mean? Okay, dates of translator, editor, year of this edition. Okay, this information is going to be important. Why? Say again? Sometimes it'll be in the colophon of the Tibetan, like 1 out of 5 or 7 times. Even in ancient times, they'll say this was carved in the water rat year or something like that. Okay. Yeah. Format of the book means was it Western format or is it Tibetan or is it a xylograph? Okay. Cover condition. A lot of these I took from our original standards for the St. Petersburg catalog. So we invented this standard in 1995 or something. Okay, 20 years ago. Why do you need to know copyright owner and ISBN number? It's illegal to release the data of a book that is copyrighted by somebody. That's, for example, this book, this catalog is a modern Tibetan compilation. Somebody owns the copyright. We can't release that data, or we have to contact them. TBRC's 1,000 miles ahead of us on this. They have a system for contacting the copyright holder, getting permission, limiting to the first 10 pages. We don't have that, and one day we'll get sued because we'll put all our data up online and we'll forget that it was copyrighted. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least we have to make a note in here that it's copyrighted. Every book reprinted in Western format in Tibet is copyrighted. If you take Jaya Shepa's writings and you don't use the woodblock, but you retype it, and make a book. Somebody owns that book, and you have to ask them. If you work from the Woodbox, you don't have this problem. See what I mean? Depends on. There's a dictionary in the Tengyur. That's okay. Nobody has a copyright. Okay, but Singza Chemo, the Great Dictionary, we have never released it. We typed it in and gave the data to the translators, and they used it, but we don't have permission to release it. Who's tickling my feet? Oh, okay. Okay, location of printing drawings or illustrations, colophone. Okay? All right, here we go. Now, the question is, how much of this work has to be done with my assistance, and how much can be done by assistants later? See what I mean? Because we don't want to waste the time of the only person who can translate the title, for example, but trying to figure out where it was printed or something like that. Okay, like we have to be efficient with my time. So the reason I bring this catalog form up to you is what items do we want to spend my time on, and what items can be done by interns later. Okay, see what I mean? So my proposal is that I don't do anything except the stuff that nobody else can do. And then, you guys figure it out later who's going to do the grunt work. Okay? Okay, all right. Okay, and it is good work, and you get paid for it. And you can make mistakes on that, and I don't care. You see what I mean? I want the title right. I want the author right. If the dates are slightly wrong, I mean, it's not something that I should spend my time on. You should spend your time on that, okay? Okay. But if we're going to do 145 works by the same guy, I don't mind to look up his dates once. You see what I mean? Okay, got it? So here we go. So you've had the transmission, and it's a valuable transmission, and it's good forever. It'll be good for the rest of your life. Okay, so here's catalog number. Now, what I have to remind you is, you're going to supply Phil with a Word document that has this information in it. And he's going to convert it to a spreadsheet.
Okay.
It might be helpful if we just put it in a spreadsheet in the first place.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I'll tell you what, you want to do that now or can you do it later? Or is it something you can do quickly? With these items, catalog number, etc.?
Oh, here. Yeah, I can copy and paste one.
Shouldn't it go along the top?
Yeah. I might be able to.
Can you do that? I don't even know.
Oh, here's what I do.
Probably Betts knows.
Yeah.
It was drinking.
If I select these individual ones, come over.
Having decided about the yoga time, I'm already trying to think of how to get out of it. No, that's okay. Who's the yoga teacher? Oh, we gotta read. Oh no.
Yeah, Bets, would you mind?
I'm looking up at
I could type it in there manually.
Or we could just do it in Word for today, and you work it out later.
Yeah, I'll
You want
clear
to do
it
that?
out.
Okay, let's do it that way, because then we can keep going. So what I suggest is you Control-A, copy, make another blank one below this one, and keep doing that for the rest of the day. Okay, got it. Okay, let's go to the first one. Catalog number. Ta-da! We are ready to start. This hasn't been done since 1999, except with brief exceptions. When I did the Sangha book, I cataloged the books I used. 70 books I used for that book. No one ever did. Okay, what's the first catalog number? S15000. Cool?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we've got, I was looking because we had some numbers that we had set aside already when we were working.
He told us what numbers we could use. I don't remember what he said.
Let's see.
It was either 14,000 or
14.
15,000.
It was 14.
Okay, let's start with 14,000.
We've got 1 through 3, so we'll have to go to 14004.
Okay, great. Okay, there we go. We've been using some catalog numbers already for ordering books. Now we do it in advance. Input file name. means we go to the files that they typed in, right? I'm going to put them up here. Okay, these are the unsplit volumes. John Young Shikha, e-text, blah, blah, blah. Uh-oh.
That's no good.
They didn't put it in all of his books. Do you have anything more recent?
Ma, ta, ta, pa.
Oopsie. They haven't put in all his books. Or did they? Yeah, they didn't put in all his books. That's weird. Maybe they have gone to do separately. That would be interesting. No. So we have a moral question here. Do we do valuable books that aren't complete yet? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then what do you have to do? Make a note for
Oh, yeah. We need to get the rest of those.
Nick to input the. I can't believe they didn't finish him. That would be very strange. Here's Na, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 7, and Volume 10. They didn't finish. That's odd. But it's still worthwhile to catalog. Why? It's extremely valuable for like when you're writing level 7 DCI manual or something. To have a quarter of his stuff would be worth it. Then it has to go on your list for you and Nick to order them and find out why they didn't input all of them. Okay?
Yeah. Second.
Tell him, I'm not doing technical work. Go, go, go.
Can you send, yeah, and, yeah, how would you do it?
So you do a pay special and select transpose.
Oh, that's
Make
it.
sure that it's
Yeah, pay special.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let me make this note real quick.
We have which volumes we have so we can tell them. No, right here on my screen. We have Nga, we have Ta, we have the 4th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 15th, right? According to his numbering. Now, let me ask you a question. If you had to send the scans to India to have them input, which edition do you need to use? Which edition of Jnana Shepa do you want to be using? When you see a W number, that's a TBRC system. Okay, so W21503. Jigme's going to go online while Adam and I are working on something else, and you're going to see if they have the whole collected works. That's their catalog number for, I suspect, the PL40 edition. Is that the best one to use? Yes or no? They're the worst. The PL40 is the worst. Okay, why? They corrected the film. They hired untrained people to make corrections on the film for printing. Yeah, microfilm. Okay? No, printing plates. The offset printing plates. They gave them a bottle of ink and said fix them because they were unclear in some pages because it was a photograph.
Who determined what that was?
No, they did. Untrained people changed the letters, you know, because they butchered some copies of collected works. Who paid for some copies of collected works? Me and Rinpoche. So it's a personal thing. They butchered. No, they butchered it. You want the rest of the story? It's really cute.
Yeah.
I swear, if I ever met the guy who did that, I would kill him. And one night, I was on the third floor of Guru Deva's house in New Delhi. We were leaning on the parapet, watching the airplanes take off from the airport. And I was talking to this guy, and he says, "Do you know I was the one who?" I'm like, just in my mind flashed this thing like, should I push him off? I'd be keeping my ancient vow. Hey, yeah.
Did you send that? Oh yeah.
Now that's a great question.
Kumbum.
Is there any indication? Are any of them paper printed?
Which one works in the one box?
Well, let's discuss one thing first. The first one is a Gomang College edition from India. The second was done by who's Ngawang Gelek Dimo. Yeah, he was a big printer of the PL40 in New Delhi because it was the only way a really resourceful Tibetan could make a lot of money in the 1970s. Who's Ngawang Gelek Dimo? Gelek Rinpoche. Sold books to the PL40, and he made a lot of money. Why? Why did you make a lot of money in it? He paid like $80 because the money came from the Congress of the United States. PL40 means that that's a law to get their money to. So, anyway, you've got a choice between an edition printed in South India by refugees, maybe in the 1990s. You've got another choice of a refugee who did it in the 70s, which is in the PL40, or you have a choice of the edition from Lagarng Tashikil, not dated. Now we should make this decision now, okay? If we start off on a new, which one did they use, by the way? They used the first one. So that's sort of chronologically, it was done in India by, so I just want to train you guys about how do you decide which one you use for input. What would be your first question? I tell you we have 4 volumes done. Huh?
4 volumes.
I mean, the first consideration would be if you've already typed in 4 volumes of a certain edition, why not
do the rest?
Do the rest of the same edition. That'd be the first thing, unless it was corrupt. Okay, so they don't even know the dates of this edition. Okay, I'll tell you the second thing in the choice. Okay, and we should teach this to Nick when he gets back. Is it a paper edition from Tibet? Is it a Western style book edition from Tibet? Okay, like there's a few of them over there. There's some here. This whole series over here. These paperbacks.
What about the first?
How were they created?
Using ACIP's input.
Yeah, and they type it once, and another person looks it over. Who's not? Well, that too. But what I'm saying is, for ACIP's purposes, never, ever use a Western style book. Period. If you can avoid it. What are the 2 cases in which we can avoid it?
They were lost.
One, that's all we have. Whoever typed it in had something earlier, but we may not be able to get it from them because they're in Tibet and they may have died 20 years ago. 2 problems. Or they may not want to give it to us. Okay, those are the 3. But what's the other reason why we might use a paper edition? And can you name me a Tibetan Western style edition that we have recently used.
This one you're just using this.
Duh!
Mhm.
Ah, that's cool. I
Mhm.
didn't think anyone would figure that question. It was a tricky question. No, the catalog we've been working with all day is a recent Tibetan work. Why are we using that? It's the only one. Okay, there is no carving of one. It's a new composition. It's a new writing. They did it themselves, and it's brilliant. It's perfect. So we use it. Those kind of books you try to get out of Tibet. There's two ways to get books out of Tibet. One, you try to buy them and have them shipped, and you try to find a place in your building to store them, which is not an easy question. And they make dust, and I don't want to be surrounded by books in the new building, frankly. I'd rather have them in the basement. That's where my books are. Why? They're all in here. I don't need them. What's the second case in which you would order what's the second way to get a newly printed Western style book out of Tibet? TBRC. They did all the work. Why should we? They have people there buying them from each press. All the legal presses in Tibet, they have a representative there and they're buying everything. They scan it. We don't need to buy books. We used to be the leader. We're not. They are. I haven't bought books from Tibet for a long time. So, no, I wasn't doing this work for a long time.
Here's a sample of the third one.
You gotta show me samples of the first two. Have them up and let's compare and let's decide. Now, a question for you. If you find out that the 4 volumes input so far are from a corrupt edition, what do?
Scratch it.
You start over. Why is that not a bad idea? How long did it take her to type a volume?
Maybe. Well, we don't know exactly, but not very long. And again,
Not more
so
than a
there's-
few weeks.
Yeah.
I think they can crank out a volume. If we pay them regularly, they can what do you call it? Beef up their staff. They're just on skeleton staff. They're on the people who didn't mind not getting paid because they thought it was important, and because we haven't paid regularly, we didn't have money. We've been good for a couple of years, yeah. But we didn't send them work. You see what I mean? So they just sat there and they didn't get paid. So anyway, now we have money and now we have organization. So we can start over. It doesn't hurt to start over. Okay. If 21503 is a bad addition.
Mhm.
Which one of those 3 additions is definitely PL40? No, Galax. Okay. Going Galax. He used to be called Demo Rinpoche. Yeah. Demo. His real name is Demo. Galax isn't his name or his line. It's Demo. Demo. Yeah. Something. I don't know how you spell it. It's not what you expect. It's some kind of weird thing. It's like some place name like New Jersey or something. So I wouldn't choose the second one personally. They might be, what do you call it? Cannibalizing each other's editions. Like especially Debu might have just reprinted Geluk Rinpoche's edition. Oh, if they look different, that's great. Given everything equal, if they were of equal accuracy in printing, which one would you choose? Huh? Well, most legible. That's a good answer. I might use the one that's cataloged already. You see what I mean? Because then we have two skilled people's opinion of how many works are in there. You know.
You have to shift from one to the other.
Thank you.
Okay, let's look at a few pages, okay?
Well, these are downloads.
Can we look at? Can you give me like 3 pages of each? No, I want to use yours. Okay, you can give me on a flashlight. Complete PDFs? One volume is great. Okay, then give it to me on a, and then people can see it on the screen. Let's do it the old way. As important as junk food is, it'd be more important to give everybody some water. By the way, if it were me, which it is, I would, no, it's you, Adam. I would write Sunam Lamo and ask her if she's finished Jamyang Shepa.
Okay.
It's just possible you just don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah, if she says, oh, I finished that last year, or, you know, and maybe we just don't have them all.
That's
So
something I was thinking
even
about.
before I choose another scan, I would write her and say, did we really not finish it? I have a feeling she did finish it. So let's make this decision later.
Okay.
Okay? I'm gonna stop this exercise.
Oh,
You want these?
hi. Thank you.
But you don't need me for that.
Mhm.
Okay? If she says she didn't input everything, I'll help you choose an edition. Okay?
Yeah, I was thinking about that last night.
Which of these editions is the one in our catalog? Where's the corn ones?
It was the first one, wasn't it? It was the one from.
How would you find out? There's an easy way to find out. Huh?
No, whether or not the one
No.
that we have.
The one we have the catalog for, which of those 3 is it, or is it any of those 3?
Well,
How would you find that out?
date, right?
They have different numbers of volumes.
Oh,
14,
right.
15, and 16.
Yeah, we can go and look at the.
How much do we have? Huh? No, how many in our catalog? No, how many volumes? 1, 6? 1, 5. Sure? Okay, good. So can we say definitively
That's right.
that the catalog we have relates to the one in TBRT that has 15 volumes? Huh? No, not necessarily. Good answer.
It's the same as the one with TBRC.
No, that just means that to type those 4 volumes which we have, she used the first one. Which has how many volumes? How many volumes does 12503 have? I know. I mean, you can start right off the bat and tell if we have the right edition or not. Don't forget, you have to do yoga at 6 o'clock. If you want to clear out the room, there's 2 ways. One is to hassle people and ask them to leave. The other is to say we're doing yoga. And then suddenly there's like 3 people here. What? 1, 6? So it's not the same edition, unfortunately. Okay, so you're going to write some Lamo tonight. Okay, ready? We're going to start cataloging. Why? Why are we going to catalog an incomplete collection?
Well, because they're.
Well, we could have practiced on somebody that's complete.
Well, they're important.
They're very important for our research, okay? Like if we're translating something, it'd be really valuable to have him, to have all of him, to have anything he has.
Oh wow.
It's an ACIP principle that if we have an incomplete book, we type it
Type
in.
it in.
We had 3 pages of a 100-page book, we type them in. Because a single sentence of Tibetan can be useful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important. We're in the business of preserving it for the future. So if we used to find half books, we would type them in. And we'd say we don't know who the author is. You know, like that. Because they're all valuable. I know. I know. Okay, but it doesn't matter. We're just gonna start. We can do our own cataloging. It'd be nice to have one that's already done, but let's just do it ourselves. Okay, here we go. So we'll start with now, okay, Adam? Right?
Okay.
I think it's this thing here, 0402. I don't know why, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna open that up. In you have it up, right? Okay. Are there pages missing? Do you believe those first 2 lines? What's the next page number?
1B.
1A. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
There are no pages missing. Okay. It might be that she finished it a long time ago and she was just told to complete stuff that they were missing. Okay. It could be. Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing to do for you would be to cut out that stuff. Okay. We don't need it. Okay. Now,
Should I save it?
keep saving. I mean, I have this thing with my left hand.
I've gotten so used to not saving anything in this Dropbox. Like,
Oh, are you in a Dropbox?
yeah, I'm in the
No,
Dropbox.
take this
version.
text out, put it on your computer, call it stuff I'm working on my cataloging project. Don't change the Dropbox. Don't change her Dropbox for sure.
Let's see the way it was.
Okay. Yeah, put it on your computer somewhere.
I've got them in a couple of places, but I'll just make sure I have the newest version. Oh yeah.
What's that? Did you boop?
No. She's.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna
It
take.
sounded like a boop.
So we had five sources we could pull uncatalogued data from. As far as Sonam might have some, Jason might have some, Gordon Aston.
I think she will remember she inputted, and then Gordon will be able to find it faster than she can, if it has been. And you can ask Gordon also. Tell him we're working on Jamna Shepa. You know.
Okay, 30. None that I know of. I didn't get any from Phil because we had problems copying them. Well, on whatever hard drive we had. I'll have to talk to Phil about that. But I got a copy of something, but there was a whole subfolder in there that was like saying it was incomplete. Like there was stuff that was, some of the stuff wouldn't copy or something.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here's so the first, let's go to the Shiji Terenso catalog. Is that you also have that in your Word? I mean, did you change it to a Word document?
No, I have it to open ACT.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
don't.
check and see where it is, or where
No,
it's coming
no.
from.
Just store it on your computer in a separate place called My Catalog.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
this one came from an old folder that I had for the text ordering process.
Okay, because I don't want to mess with the database, right? Anytime you take a work out of the database to look at it, or you're going to use it a lot, then copy it to your computer and don't mess up the database.
Okay.
Okay, you don't even own the master, so okay. Look for the word Senyik, which is the first title we have. What's a Senyik? What's Sen mean? G-S-A-N. Sen. Sen is the honorific of
Oh gosh, I know this. Yeah. No.
Terpa. Terpa.
To listen.
Yeah. Sen is the honorific for listen. Okay.
That's
Shruti.
right.
Shrava. Okay. So Sen. I don't think there's any. And Yik means a record in this case. So what's a Senyik? Huh? Yeah, a record of what he was taught.
Oh, all the teachings he
So
received.
major lamas do these records. Pabonkas'
That's
Rinpoche's is extensive, extremely extensive, which is very useful for historical purposes. He recorded the lineage of every teaching he ever got and listed the teaching,
That's right.
Pabonka Rinpoche. So let's look at this. On the screen here, you'll see the catalog from Tibet it's called a precious treasure of all noble things. But it's really just a catalog of good Gelugpa authors. Okay? If it's in here, if an author is made into these 3 volumes, we should input him. So that's what we're using as a guide for the next few years of what to input. We're trying to, all these authors should be in our database. Okay? I have a thing about our database. I believe we should only input authors that are reputable and authentic. And we can have a side database for the questionable ones who we don't know if that book was really dug up from underground or they just made it up, or you know what I mean? So, and also authors whose philosophical views are, in my opinion, correct. Like, I don't want to input a lot of stuff that's incorrect because the nature of computer searches is indiscriminate. You hit something and it looks cool and you use it in a class, and then a year later you find out they put a book in the library that was wrong. You see what I mean? So I want to have what I would call a pure core database, and then we'll have all those weird works like the monkey and what do you call it? Yeah, and I don't want to say that's canonical. So what you call ACIP Sumbum is the effort to create a new canon. Why don't we have to do that with the Kangyo and Tengyur? Buddha already did it. Okay, that's why there's a Kangyo and Tengyur. Sumbum we're defining. We're defining what's canonical and what's not. You see, and that's a big decision. But I don't want to put works in there which are questionable. And I'm shamelessly saying we follow Tsongkhapa.
Yeah.
Because we're doing the work, and we want a canon that we can use. That anytime you get a hit with the search program, you can trust it. The information you hit, you can trust it. You don't have to go look up the author and see if he's a quack or not. Okay, and quacks have some useful stuff, but that comes later. If we have more money and more time and more people, we can type in all the quacks. And there are some interesting things in there that are semi-usable. But in the meantime, and I'm not being sectarian, I'm trying to maintain a certain consistency of a tradition. Like, do we have any Kagyu works in our core database? We did one 2 days ago, please. What is it? Sotik. Yeah, Tsonawa's commentary on Vinaya. Why? It's the best. No, and Tsongkhapa used it. You see what I mean? Because it was before he was alive. Do we use the Kadampa works? Yeah. Are they Tsongkhapian? Not historically speaking. Yeah, they were written 300 years before Tsongkhapa, 400 years before Tsongkhapa. Okay, do we include non-Tsongkhapian things? Yes, but things that he would have included. Okay, that's being accurate. Okay, all right. So why did I get into that? Oh, Senyiks are useful for establishing anything the Jamyang Shepe Dorje included in his list of teachings I have received is in the long run something useful to have in our database. So for hard up for work, we can go to his Senyuk, pull out some stuff that we don't have already, go see if TBRC has done the work of getting all the scans. Let them do the work of the scans. That's fine. And if it ever happens they can OCR everything without our ladies in India, which won't be soon, good, we'll move on to cataloging it and putting it on the right shelf. And if somebody does that, we'll go on to translating, okay, which is probably what we should concentrate on anyway. Okay, so tell me something heartening about the fact that the volume we're in the catalog. Which volume are we in? According to, yeah,
So
which volume was it in Sunam Hamos? Yeah, it was 4. Okay, that's great. That means we can sort of use this catalog as a guide to make sure we don't miss a work. And there's a famous story, and God bless her. I was trying to teach this work to Christy McNally many years ago, 15, 16 years ago. And I had the same kind of people around the table. And I was like, here, you try to catalog this stuff from the first Panchen Lama. And she came to me and she said, I found a book that's not there in the Tibetan catalog. And I'm like, yeah, right, and I checked and she was right. And the book wasn't there and the Tibetans missed it, So don't assume these catalogs are correct. You see what I mean? We might find books in there that they didn't find in there. Okay, the Tohoku was wrong. The Tohoku catalog was wrong. Okay, so Senyik, 62 folios, right? So if we're going to cut out this first book, okay, we're getting to the nitty-gritty now. Go to the file from our input center. Okay. And go 62 pages into it.
Zero 62. Okay. Yeah, and then a new book starts.
Yeah, new book starts at 62B. Okay, got it? So you're gonna do, this is really scary stuff. If you make a mistake here, it stays for hundreds of years, possibly, unless there's another bunch of crazy people like us that comes later. So you're gonna cut out that whole first thing, that first 62 pages. Do you include the blank page? I say no. I say yes. I say no. I say no. I say yes. Yes, A is front side, B is back side. It would be. Why? When we start on the next work and people study it later, they'll say they missed a folio. They missed a fascia, missed a face of a folio. Maybe there's a poem on it. They need to know it was a blank page.
Okay.
No, because it makes sense it's a blank page. I'll show you why. I'll tell you why.
So we want to take this part as well, yeah?
The word blank page also. And you cut that out.
Can I just copy it or should I cut it?
Yeah, I would copy it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing for archival purposes to keep the original in the volume. And then create a new document. Okay, now, tell me something. Look at my screen here. and tell me something interesting about the next work and the pagination of the next work.
Oh,
Huh?
that starts at 1 a.m.
No, it's got a B, so it's a block print page number of the original. So tell me something about the pagination of this first volume.
There's only 4 lines per page.
That's unlikely. No, there's not 4 lines. Yeah, you're right.
Which means it must be either really big or
It is big letters if you look at the scan. But tell me something else interesting about the pagination. Dee, 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 dee. What's interesting about the pagination between the first work and the second work?
there's a blank page.
No, they start over
Start
again.
over, yeah.
Okay, most Tibetan volumes keep going with the same number. In the Kangyur and in the Tengyur, a new work starts on the same line. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. There's no marker to an untrained eye of where a new book is starting. It's as if you stopped Romeo and Juliet, and on the same line you started Love's Labor Lost. And it would take an expert, and then the pagination goes sequentially. You see what I mean? These people have done something helpful. They started the page numbers over again on each new work. Okay? Why does that make our work easier?
Because you know it's going to start with a 1.
Yeah, so we know if the cataloger, the Tibetan cataloger, left a work out. You don't get the Christy McNally thing happening. You see what I mean? You're not going to get a work in between 2 works by accident that nobody found. And it gets stuck on the end of the other work. You see what I mean? So to be safe, I'm going to show you a ridiculously stupid exercise that you should learn to do. I'm going to search for asterisk. Okay? Ready? And you hit twice. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 59, 60, 61. Oops. Is there another work inside that work?
No.
No. Okay, and that's the only way to do it. No, I'm just saying. No, I know. I stopped. Okay. So we have confidence now that we can put this book into our database, and we're not going to create a problem 100 years from now where some graduate student figures out that 2 books got cataloged as a single book. Okay, and this is just part of the grunt work.
Why wouldn't you just search for it?
You could do that too. You could do that too. You could also do that, but I feel more confident this way,
So
and it only takes a few seconds.
and you're looking at each one to make sure.
I just count my mind like, well, you could look every 5. You could look again. You know. No, seriously. You know, and they're supposed to do this over there, but I just don't trust people. When I'm working with text, I take responsibility. The buck stops here. If I put this text into the database, it's a separate text. It's not got 2 books in it. It's complete. There's no pages missing from the middle. And it takes me a few minutes more. And I feel confident that my work is correct. And so far, the database is a one-man show. But that's not the case going on. So we have to maintain that culture of I'm not going to put a wrong thing in my database. There's a lot of mistakes in the TBRC. There's a lot. Okay, a huge amount. But it's done by a staff with varying degrees of skills. So, but that's going to happen sooner or later with every project. So, It has to be a culture of I don't let a mistake pass me. You know.
We should have a
Yeah. And it's a certain level of care that we maintain. Okay, and that's just a cultural. That's a corporate thing that you made. Different companies have different cultures. You know. Okay.
We could help retrigger that.
Yeah, we could sign up for the first one, but we'd have to listen and hear it, listen and teach at the same time, so it'd be difficult. According to some schools of thought, that's not possible.
So I've got the.
Now I'll ask you a question. There's a thing called metadata, right? And people will take this raw file of ASCII, and the first paragraph will be their comments about the author, about the number of pages, where it was printed, stuff like that. Why don't we do that? It screws up the statistics. It screws up the searches. You've got English in the middle of Tibetan. Okay. Why don't we write a program where the stuff is there, but it's not visible to the search engine? Yeah. Okay. They change. What was the best word processor in the world when we started this project? WordPerfect. What was the best spreadsheet program? Lotus, by far. Where is Lotus now? No, it's out of business. WordPerfect was bought by Corel, and there's 10 copies in the world. David Stump has 3 of them. And okay, like you don't. The beauty and the brilliance of our system is that it's in ASCII. It's in the architecture of all computers in the world. Until they change the architecture of all computers in the world, which they will, but it'll take longer than Microsoft is going to last, for example. Okay, we don't know if Microsoft Word will be used in 10 years. You know, we just don't know. So we don't add stuff that you can only read with a certain program. We're using the letters that all computers have right now, and they've had since the first computer was made. It's called ASCII. Okay. So what do we do about Tibetans who can't read Roman letters? Yeah, no, we just put it in Unicode. Yeah, like one of you guys just sits there all day and puts documents into Unicode, or we write a batch file, which means it does 1,000 files at once, and we put that up on the web. That's okay. We should do that, but we store it in ASCII. So there's a difference between storage and display. Okay. When a Chinese person types Chinese on their phone, what do? They put in pinyin. They use ASCII. You know, I had people criticize this. Why are you using ASCII? You use ASCII. When you write a text message, you're using ASCII. No, but I'm writing in Chinese. No, you're typing on an English keyboard, and you're inputting ASCII, and the computer recognizes that as a Chinese, and then it displays a Chinese character. The Google people got it. When I was at Google, they said, that's really smart. I said, yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, anyway. Now I praise myself. Cut out now. Now comes the sexy part. Name the file.
Let's see. So we take.
By the way, and you store it. You save the file. You're careful not to save it as a Word document. You're careful to save it as a text document. I don't know what you're working with. Are you working in TextEdit or WordPerfect? Or are you in WordPerfect? Sorry, Word. Anyway, you never save a file and put it into the database in Word format.
I actually have it saved so that anytime I save anything in Word, it saves it. It asks me if I want to save it as a text file.
As a text file. Okay, good. Now, first I want to name the file.
Right.
What's the file name going to start with? look at any book in our database now.
We've got to give it a the number, right? The catalog number, yeah.
Well, go to our database. Here it is.
Let's see.
You know, go to anything that Nick's been working on. Okay, so boom. Like let's take this thing. Here's a typical file name. Okay, you can only see it this way. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we could get lazy and just do the catalog number and let Nick worry about it later. But since we're here and since we know who the author is and everything, let's just do everything for him. Now watch this thing at the top, you see?
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's how I want you to name this new file. If we're lucky, today we'll finish one book out of 10,000 that are waiting.
I gotta pick it up.
Hurry up! Type faster!
Yeah.
Okay, here's your model.
Okay. Underscore.
Yeah, now I want the Tibetan title.
Okay. What I have to do is I'll create a separate file and throw it all into there, and then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's see that.
Okay, good. That's fine. Because, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's a nice way to do it. Now, I'll tell you a standard we have. Don't bother to put shukso at the end.
Okay.
Okay, we don't put shuksos. That's the quotation mark in English. It's not worth it.
The Dongpo.
Say again?
Dongpo?
Yeah, up to Dumbo. This is a very long name. And you're going to translate it.
Dongpo.
By the way, us translating the names into English does two things. What? It allows non-users to sort of, see what the book's about and helps them. But starting with this China tour, this Southeast Asia tour, we will be hiring Allison and Stanley to translate those English titles into Chinese. That means that anyone in Tibet and anyone in China, of course Tibet's part of China, will be able to see what the book's about, and they'll get more excited and they'll support it more. You see what I mean? So people like Mr. Wu who can't read Tibetan and whose English is not proficient can get an idea of the contents and the vastness of the Tibetan works just in their own language. And then we should do it in French and German and Spanish and So it's important that the English translation is right, because they'll be translating from the English and not from the Tibetan normally. Okay, and I'll tell you something. In my opinion, I haven't met anyone alive from Tibet who can do this work. That there was a 50-year gap where no one was learning anything. They were not allowed. So there's no one trained enough to do it properly. And even a highly trained translator like the Dalai Lama's translator, his English is not, his translation of Tibetan to English is very hard to read. Okay, so I think it's very important that we translate correctly into modern English. That's as smooth as possible, because that's going to be the basis for the Chinese, the Spanish, the German, the French. Okay. Okay, now for the first time, Adam is going to translate a title, and we will continue this for many years. And I will correct you, and one day you'll do it perfectly, and I'll know I can retire. So let's go through the. So normally you start from the back, okay? But let's go through and make sure you know all the elements. And I'm going to slow down to the point where you have to translate it, and then I'll correct it, okay? So that means you have to know every word here. So that's why we have an audience here, is that everyone here can learn if you pay attention. If you just space out and do something else, you will never be able to translate yourself. but this could be a translation class if you pay attention. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give you pieces, and you're going to tell me what they mean. Okay, so I'll help you. Ooh, what happened? Okay, Tricky J.
Lord of the, or King of the, well, the Lord of Dharma.
Good, Lord of the Dharma. Tamje Kemba.
Omniscient.
Great. Jamyang Shepe Dorje.
Jamyang Shepa. Jamyang
His full nickname, okay, does that sound funny? It's Jamyang Shepe Dorje. It has nothing to do with his monk's name, which is Ngong Tsindu. Okay? Okay, he's called Jamyang Shepe Dorje. Again, I repeat that if you find a Jamyang Shepa quoted, you have to be careful that you don't misidentify him, because there are other Jamyang Shepas who came later. They were all called Jamyang Shepa. Okay? Yeah, you can put the pieces in. You're gonna have to put them in order later and make them, and then you gotta make them smooth. I like Lord of the Dharma. Omniscient. I like this way. Well, let's do it this way. Jamyang Shepe Dorje in pronunciation. Good. Nice. Very good. Senyuk. Now, let me tell you something. Of course, I've been telling you a few things. What should we do to make your translation of this title consistent with the titles that have, the 10,000 titles that have already been translated?
The phonetic, I've got to, I don't know.
Search the existing catalog for the word Senyuk.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
There is no existing catalog, but there's a bunch of them, and they're all in the same folder, and Gopher can search all of them, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
So here we go. Record of teachings received. That's how we translate Senyuk, okay? So you can get pieces of the title from the existing catalog, and then it'll all be consistent.
Right.
Okay. So in your little notes to yourself, you're going to say record of teachings received. Wait, I mean that other document, yeah. Wherever it is. And don't get nervous. I mean, you'll get better at it in about 10 years. So. Don't get all flustered. Just do it. Record of teachings received. Luckily, we had Torbu the other day, so everybody knows it. Yeah. But let's go see what I used, and let's make it consistent. Okay. What's the word for Torbu here? Yeah, various. Okay. Let's check some more.
Assorted?
Yeah, assorted. Good.
Compilations? No, or collection.
Collection. Yeah, that's not exactly correct. Selection of notes. Okay. Various notes. I got some bad news for you. Catalog this.
Oh, this one here. Yeah, Tricky John. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tricky.
This text is already in the database. Yeah. So do we throw out our work and go to the next one?
Well, we should. They gotta be the same.
Do they have to be the same? Now, for this you got to know some history. A lot of stuff was typed in before Jason, right? And Jason might have retyped some things.
Oh.
So we have to make sure we're in the same edition as that. Okay, how would we tell?
Let's check. We check the page numbers of both?
Exactly. Yeah. So go to S12112, which you can do in Finder. Okay.
212.
Great, exactly. Yeah.
I think I messed up.
Oh, so was it 11212?
1, 2,
12112.
1, 2, 2. Okay, so we can just at or and then at, or should I just skip down to the bottom?
You can skip to the bottom.
All right, 62. Yeah, it looks like the same one.
Yeah, so it's done already. Wah, wah. Yeah, you learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finally starting to get a grasp.
Okay, so skip that one. How did I translate it, by the way? Received on various occasions. Okay, something like that. Oh, sorry. Wide variety. It's a wide variety. Okay, now let's check the other works in this volume. Okay. How are we gonna mark the volume as already in our database? You know what I would do is create a subfolder in the master, which is I guess the one on in the Dropbox. I create a subfolder that says already in database.
Yeah, do that in the
Yeah.
In the root folder of the unsplit
Yeah.
volumes.
Yeah.
No,
No, I would do it under
Dropbox.
his. Yeah. No, under that particular folder that we were just in.
Come on, get out of there. Doji?
Yeah. It could be, but I don't think so.
Okay. Oh,
The idea is that unsplit volume means. Oh wait. Yeah, it could be a lot of them are done already. He had this fixation to putting things back into volumes, which has no real practical value in my mind. But it could be 80% of these are already input. So
should I just copy the existing one into there?
what do you mean existing one? So
So
under Nga, we're in Nga, right?
Yeah. I could just copy.
I would put I would just create a subfolder there
Oh, in this folder.
and name it already in database,
I see.
like under Nga here, under this one. Okay, and it just say already in database as of the day today. No, put the date
Oh yeah.
as of 7/7/15. Set 7. Good. Okay.
I sure did.
But we got to confirm that all 4 works in volume are in the database. Okay. So what's the title of the next work?
Let's go. Look, this is getting fun. This is getting really cool.
Good.
Okay. So let's say I could just
Go to 62B.
Oh, come on. And 0062.
I think you just search for 62, you'll hit it. There's rarely another number in the text. It happens to be here, but just look for the next one. Keep going down.
Yeah.
To the B. 4 lines down.
Oh, we did. We hit a couple of them.
No,
Yeah, you guys start searching.
search for the words blank page. He.
Put the. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I can just do that.
There you go. Okay, so do we have the next word in our database? Look here.
Yeah.
Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Why did they separate the list of his teachings received into 2? The first section is Torbu. What's that mean? Yeah, just
collection.
everything you ever heard without any organization. The second section is called Kangyurki Dochok.
Kangyaki Dolchog.
which means what?
Um,
What's chok? That's a difference. Yeah,
mm,
meaning section in this case. Okay, and do
Sutra.
sutras. So Kangya, these are things he was taught that are sutras.
Mhm.
So he chose, whoever put together this list, which was himself, he chose to divide the teachings he had received into teachings on sutras and then miscellaneous stuff so far, but there's a third section. So I would go to 12113 and make sure it starts and make sure it has the same total pages as your volume here.
So, let's see if I can just do this right. The ampersand.
Yeah.
Oh, it started from the. No, there we go.
How many is it supposed to have, according to our catalog?
Go look at it.
Oh, then you could search for the number 34.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's 36.
36.
So that's the middle of the first work, right? Isn't it?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, now search for 36 again. You'll hit B. Now hit for 36 again. Yeah, now scroll down because
The catalog we have here is different from the text that we have input. The text that we have input is
37.
oh great. Okay, we'll go to 34. Search for 34.
Yeah.
Is this not just a selected bit from the original file? You're looking at your untitled.txt. You're not looking at the file that has everything.
She
This
said,
is when I didn't.
yeah, titled him. But wait, don't dump it yet
Okay.
because what?
We're gonna need this.
If it's in there, or if it's not in there.
We have to look up file number 12113 in the existing database and tell me what's the last page number.
Yeah.
This is grunt work. No, I'm sorry. No, now we're talking about the next work.
Okay, last page number 34A.
34A?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, it's about the same number of pages. Okay, so we covered 12113. Right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, this catalog is
No, it's a catalog run.
I don't know. It has a different
What could it be?
the blank pages.
No. I'll give you a clue. The work we input has 15 volumes, right? The catalog has 14 or 16. Yeah, I hate it when she does that. Yeah, 14 or 16.
No, I can't remember. 'Cause there was
You wrote them down. You wrote them down to add up the numbers.
the one,
Where's here?
the one that we were looking at in the first place.
The catalog, the native catalog. Okay,
And the one we have is 14.
right. So will the pagination be the same? No, because they carved them in different lengths and different number of lines. Okay, okay. So it's not of concern to us that the number of pages in the catalog is 36 and the number of pages we have is 34. Why? It's just a different carving.
Mhm.
As long as they're within like 10, 20% of each other, you're okay.
So we don't care, it's a different edition.
Right. We're using the catalog to help us not miss a book. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's try the next one. We have half an hour to go. If you have to pee, okay? Then we're going to do yoga at 6 o'clock. Hee hee. Did we have lunch? We didn't have lunch, but you can't eat before yoga anyway.
Great, that's on copy.
Okay, next one. I mean, how did he distinguish the third part of his Senyuk from the rest?
Shakya Gelong.
What are the contents of his third part of his of the list of what he was ever taught? Huh? Tantra. Isn't that in the Kangyur? Didn't we just have Kangyur?
Sanat.
The last one, no, the last one was Kangyur Dolchok,
Yeah.
of what would be considered open teachings in English, okay? Okay, got it? So he put all the Tantra stuff in the next part of his Senyuk, okay? Now, you gotta go pull that file up for me, make sure it has how many pages it has.
46.
Is it close to the native catalog?
Let's go look.
By the way, Phil, this is Phil's version of my catalog, and he cut out the page number. Thanks, Phil.
There it is. Yeah, 46.
Okay, good. So that one's done.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. How many have we had?
From 12, so 3 so far.
Only 3? Okay. What's this next one? What is the next one? Yeah, the next one is what we translated in the red book.
Yeah.
Okay. It's how to paint those paintings. Okay. That's what we translated in that book. In the native catalog, is that the last work in volume?
Let's see. 46. No. We have this one as well. 10, Geche, Pende.
By the way, that's just it's just going across the page.
Oh, I see.
What's Rechi?
Retri.
What's Re mean? Why did someone translate, I won't mention names, the Chenrei 6 name as he who looks at a rag or something like that? Yeah, Re can mean cloth or rag, but it can also mean to look like this. Okay, guess which one is Chenrei 6? Yeah, not rag. Chi means to write. So Rechi means what?
To write beautifully?
To write on cloth, which means to paint a tanka. Okay. Canvas writing. Okay. All right. So
writing on the cloth.
Do we have that in our database? How many pages? First, tell me how many pages it's supposed to have according to this one.
It's supposed to have 26.
Okay, go look it up. I'm talking 12115. Why are these cataloged, and what is the 12,000 series?
26.
You can tell me because you know what the book is.
Yeah. We've got 26.
Why has this already been cataloged?
Because we did it for King of the Dharma.
I needed it for King of the Dharma book, and I thought it'd be a waste of time not to catalog them while I was working with them. Because I also needed to mention the catalog number in the bibliography. So I went ahead and cataloged anything, okay, that I needed for that book. And if it was in the middle of a volume, I went ahead and did the rest of the volume. Because it'd be weird to cut out the middle and not cut out the rest. So I just, every time it was in a bigger volume, I cataloged all the books in the volume. Okay. Okay, so
71 for the next one.
Yeah, the next book, which starts with the words.
Kunkan. Jamyang Shepe.
Yeah, okay.
Or Kunkan.
Yeah, so pull up 12.11.6, 12116. See, I'm afraid, JB, that Jason has mixed together things we already typed and things he had typed to complete the volume. You see what I mean?
71.
So that means
So he's gonna have to spend a lot of time to see if we already have it and if it's the same edition.
That's fine.
well, what if Gordon had see he has his own catalog.
I don't know what it means when you say he has. Did he do all these numbers and cut them out? I doubt it. He didn't translate it for sure.
That one's
So anyway,
good.
we're good. Okay, let's go to the next one. Are we still in volume Na?
Mhm.
Because when we reach the end of volume Na, we can put already cataloged under the unsplit volumes thing. Okay. Okay. What's the next one?
16. It has 16. It's supposed to have 16. Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with Tricky J. Okay.
Tricky J. Oh gosh. Awesome.
Okay, we're on 12117. Okay, no giggling, G. Focus, focus, focus. Was it a route or something? I just pick on you.
Yeah.
It starts with Tricky J. It's in volume Na.
You just type in.
Oh no, that's not a good way to go. You could say here, Boom Torbu. Look up Boom Torbu. Okay, good. Now wait, stop, slow down. No, that's the wrong one. Do the next one. Next one. That's it. Okay. Now,
117.
why are we having the Torbu when the Torbu was the first thing we did today? Why is it a different Torbu?
Because this one's a collection of.
Yeah, good. The first Torbu was miscellaneous stuff he was taught. This Torbu is miscellaneous things that he wrote. Okay. And then they split his Sunbum into Torbu and non-Torbu. Torbu, when it refers to an author's works, means short pieces that they wrote that were clumped together in a single carving. Okay, a small carving, like 100 pages or 300 pages, which still might be part of a volume. Okay. In the case of Jetsun Kappa, who has 153 Sung Torbus, they didn't catalog that. They just said miscellaneous works. What are some of the works in his miscellaneous works? Lamsa Numstone, preparation for test, Ganin, what is it called? Source of all my good. Yunishigurma, praise the Lord, Buddha for teaching and generations. Some of the most taught things in history are not in the catalog. You cannot find three principal paths in the catalog of Jetsun Kappa because it's under miscellaneous works. Therefore, the word miscellaneous itself is objectionable.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say assorted writings. The people who translate as miscellaneous, to call those works miscellaneous is pretty weird. To me, it's offensive. We
usually see Torbu by itself, or we usually see it with Sung Torbu.
It's always following another noun, like a noun. So it means assorted X, okay, or various X. Okay.
This one's good.
What's the Kangyur word for miscellaneous? Kangyur. What's the ancient word for miscellaneous that comes all over the Kangyur? It's called Chensek. Okay. Chensek. Yeah. That means little stuff that we couldn't find a place for, and we threw them all together. No, it's a very weird word. I think it does really mean what you'd call miscellaneous. It's like, I don't know, shopping list. And I think the Kama Sutra's in there, and text for evaluating gemstones, and it really is miscellaneous stuff. Okay. Okay. Anyway, uh, is 12117 in our?
Yeah.
We already have it in the database.
And this is for text 16. Yeah.
How's base number compare?
16B.
Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. All we may get done today is to confirm that we don't have to do anything.
I'm learning.
But that's progress. Okay. We just have to confirm that everything in this unsplit volume is already in our database. And then we can go to the next unsplit volume. And I think the next one will have stuff that's not in our database because I didn't use it for the King of the Dharma. Okay.
13. And then, yeah, they both match.
Okay, keep going. Are we on 18 now? 12, 8.
We're 19 now. I just did.
Oh, you already
18.
did it? Okay, great. That's what I'm hoping.
Let's see. Let's do a blank page. This one's 7 as well. Yep.
Angela, isn't this a good justification for cutting and numbering things at work? Because you can
Yeah. Well, different editions are going to have different. Somebody's got to do this grunt work, and so he has to mark that volume as already in the database. Sooner or later, somebody has to do it, because another carving of it might have an added work in it, which apparently they do, because the total number of volumes don't match for these guys. I'm hoping you can get down to here before we stop for yoga, right?
Yeah, I can definitely.
Do we suffer and have, or reteach the class, or do we?
2. This one's 5. 5.
What's Shinjoshe?
Shinji.
Shinjoshe.
Shay is like
Shinji.
knowable.
Yeah, the Lord of Death. Shin is an ancient word for death.
Shinji.
What's a Shay means to slaughter. Shema is a butcher.
Marple.
So what's it mean? Shinjoshe. In English, the one who. Yeah, good. Yeah, Yama. Yama means Lord of Death. Anta means end, and Aka means to Lord of Death, Enderer. Yamantaka. Anta came into English as, and most Sanskrit A's change to E when they hit English. I think that's a different one. It means inside. Oh, outside. Sorry. Could be. Yeah. Did Ka come into English? Yamantaka. Yeah, but isn't there anything that's like icy, like fanatic, or I don't know, a person who's. I think no, I don't think those are. Those are adjectival endings, right? Of the moon, lunatic. He's almost done. He's just confirming we already have all these guys.
Last one. Huh, interesting.
What's that?
This last one
Which one?
doesn't seem to match. Pelchuk.
12126.
Yeah. I might be missing
Doesn't match with it.
the page numbers here, and they don't seem to be titled the same thing either.
Oh, that's exciting. our efforts may have borne fruit.
Yeah, we just hit on one that's not in there, in the sense
Yeah,
that
for sure.
26. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say for sure. I wish I could.
You just know that one.
Yeah, I just know that this one doesn't necessarily meet up. If it's under a different, could we search for a unique string in this
Oh,
title
to see if it
to see
made
if
it
yeah.
made it in our database. Okay, cool. Good question. Give me the title that you're looking for.
Peltak na dorje korlo chimpo munlam shi je.
I'm gonna look for Chemba Minlam. Okay,
Okay.
it's pretty unique. Here, it's 12127.
What? Oh, so it was one off. I searched for 16. Let's see.
No, it's interesting if it's one off. Something's important's happening.
Okay, let me search for. Let me see what our 1.5 was. Tricky.
2.5, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for 2.5 because that would have been the one preceding. I'm just making sure I
2.5 should
my search number.
be Torbu Tikchaksadepa. Tikchaksadepa. Yeah, there you go. Tikchaksadepa. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 12125.
Okay, and so 12126
Should
should
start.
be Pelchak.
Good. Now listen, our catalog numbers don't have to be consecutive. And secondly, we're using a different carving. And if it's a difference between the two carvings, it'll likely work. The front or last one or in the middle or where? If they had extra boards left over, they'd take one from, you see what I mean? If the last work is different, that's kind of good. If the volume totals are not the same, there's going to be a difference on the ends. So okay, so 121
6.
So now we're looking for the.
This is Jamyang Shepa work, though, is what it says. Oh. No. This one's cataloged twice?
In our catalog?
Choksadepa.
In our catalog? There's probably a lot of Tukchaksus. Anyway, it's 12125.
Okay. I have 12126 pulled up. Let me see.
Oh, that's
also Tukchaksadepa. They're both Tukchaksadepas, sorry. They're both.
Is it the
There's
same?
two Tukchaksadepas. These are two different works, yeah, see? They're both Tukchaksadepa. But they're different titles. This is Chucky J, this is Kunken Chambo.
Hold on.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. 25 is works relating to sadhanas, and 26 is works relating to tantric offerings, to protectors, to dharma protectors.
Yeah, Yidam.
Yidam Drup means to reach a deity, to reach the deity. Yeah, exactly. No, Drup Top, which is sadhana. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, are we okay?
Not entirely.
Why?
I'm in my mind. I'm trying to. It'll help me in the long run if I can get conceptually why that just happened.
Yeah, fine.
I haven't.
Let's start back at the native catalog.
Okay.
Well, no, let's go through my. Where? That's true, but that has to be changed by Phil. Phil owns the catalog. I don't own the catalog. But someone should make a note to Phil to change this. He also missed. It shouldn't be a lowercase s here. There's two problems.
Oh yeah. So this is,
and I wrote these things, and he just re-sorted them. So don't blame him. It's me probably. Okay. But he's the one who can fix them because he owns the catalog, and I don't own the catalog. By the way, it's important to have an owner for each thing, right? He owns the Tengyur right now. Nick owns the symbol right now. You own the kanji right now. You own the Sanskrit list. Somebody has to own the master. You know, because you can make a lot of corrections and then they don't get in because that wasn't the master.
Okay. Right. So we were on this one here. I think this is 5. This is 1, 2,
We should be going through the volume that's in the unsplit volumes and making sure we've input everything. So, do you have the whole volume up?
Mm-hmm. I just have to find it now. There it is.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
go to the top of this
Mm-hmm.
and search for O1. Okay, we have that confirmed. Which one was that? In our system, Shipe Dorje Senyek Le Kangyo. Oh, that's the second Le Kangyo.
The first one was the Senyu. Second was a Kangergi Dokcho. Senyu. The third.
Hang on. Let me just get it up. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 3. We have it. Okay, hit for O1 again. Yes, stop. That's weird. Huh? Something's wrong. Oh, that's 10. That's page 10.
Oh,
okay. Search for O1 again.
Yeah, I guess I could try that. Yeah. Oh.
You could try asterisk O1, you know. Okay. Gatso Kepe Jungo. Good. That's 114. Next. Do it again. Do it again. You want to O1A. Stop. Misspelled, by the way, Kun Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck finding it. This was misspelled in the typing. What's it supposed to be? Oh, this is supposed to be.
I hit 1 before. And,
show me 1 before. Go back.
Yeah. Oh,
use this arrow.
Sorry.
Okay, stop. Okay, we have that. Next. This should be Lumrek Bangzi. It's completely wrong. Rikterze. By the way, the carving was really bad. That's why there's so many question marks. Oh, wait.
Oh, did you?
Okay, we got that one. Next.
Which one are we on?
We got it. Next. Got it. Next. Sumum Turbo Tukchucks. Does it end with Dokcha?
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Oh, come on.
Tormi Namshe. Next. Mudukunju. Got it. Next.
Okay, so it'll be Shepetsin, Gurchin, Nang.
Tarpen. Finished. Next.
Okay.
Dohadze, very important. This is a really heavy tantric yoga text called Dohadze. Very important for tantra and for yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a commentary, and he is the kind of person, maybe the only one in the whole 100, 200,000 works. It's a very important ancient 84 cities text, Dohadze. Huh? I translated as treasure song, a song, Doha. Some, but it's a very rare word, extremely rare. But I looked it up for a couple days and figured it out. Next one is
Neki shepa klinken chimpo jamyang shepe dorje ze par drakpa shukso. Dorje zepa. Dorje de par. Shepe.
no.
Shepe.
Read this title. Said to have been composed.
Oh.
His students weren't sure he wrote it or not, and they were trying to be honest about it. And they said, everybody says he wrote this, but he's gone, and we're making his collected works, and we're gonna put it in, but we're just want you to know we're not totally sure he wrote it. Okay. All right. Next. Now, I'll tell you something really cool, if you want to know for sure. Having all this stuff in a computer database, how could you confirm or deny that he wrote something?
You can compare writing styles.
Yeah, you compare frequency analysis of adverb, weird things, adverbs, prepositions, common words, uncommon words. And because it's all in a database, you can pretty much say, after doing some statistical work, that he couldn't have written this, or he was on acid that day. I mean, he wasn't being himself. I mean, you can't say for sure he didn't write it, but you can even say that. How could that be true? You can date the use of certain words to our database. You can say, for example, the word Donglan doesn't occur before this date. So if the book has Donglan in it, it cannot have been written by him. See what I mean? Once it's in the database, you can do stuff like that. Graduate students, 3 generations from now. Okay, next. We got Yidam misspelled. Okay. Oh God, look at him. It says Yima Drupa, which means the mind never existed, and it's a misspelling of Yidam Drup. Okay, it's a misspelling of the syllables. Okay, Yima Drup. Maybe they're mind only. No, they're mind. No mind scroll.
They've fallen off the cliff.
Yeah. I think it's been recorded. I had to start a whole nother broadcast at the beginning because
I fixed them in the catalog. See, like I just fixed it in the catalog.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean? But if you don't know Tibetan very well, you could well mistranslate it. Okay. By the way, don't blame the operators because the carving may have been defective, or the monk who was supposed to put the ink on the wood block was looking at this girl, and they rolled it without the ink on it, and it made an impression but not very clear, and nobody noticed. They throw out a lot of pages that aren't printed well, but sometimes people don't notice. That's why in St. Petersburg we cataloged every single book. No, every single work inside of volumes. We cataloged every single work inside of volumes. Why would you? Yeah, because page 3 might not be printed well on copy A, but it is printed well on copy B. And that's why we're going to input them all. Okay? And they're from the same wood block. Okay? But you go ahead and do that overkill. What do you call it? Redundancy. Okay? Okay. Pained? Okay, go to the next one. We got that one.
This is
Tensung Namgi Sutra. Tensung Namgi Sutra. Okay, these are Dharma protectors. Next one. Shije Dangchepa. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're done. So look,
Okay.
we've confirmed that everything in volume is already in the database. But the person who did, you'd probably want to go into the, make sure the last number is the same of each section. You see? Did we do that?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay,
Yeah,
God bless.
the last time.
Okay, so now you can stand by. The fruits of your labor today are only a footnote in the unsplit volume folder that says it's already in. Okay? It's already in the database. It's been split up, it's been cataloged, it's had numbers assigned to it, it's complete, and this edition matches the one in the database. If Jason had typed in another edition, it would have been useful because you'd have a different carving of the same book, and somebody, there might be differences, yeah,
Light
that
and
are
drop
important.
clarity.
When I translated the first Dalai Lama's Abhidharma commentary, there was a very delicate section that I thought might be wrong in the original carving, and I went to Yale, and they had a copy of the original, and I broke it open. I was the first person to open the book ever. No, after they planed the side of the book and put the saffron, no one had ever opened it. They gave it to Theo Spinard, and he carried it on a yak out of Tibet, and no one ever opened it. I was the first person to open it. It was really cool, because you have to pull the pages apart. You see what I mean? The first person to read a book after it's been planed on the side, they have to pull the pages apart. And I was like, oh wow, no one ever opened this book. They printed it for him. He carried it out on a yak. He died. His wife gave the books to Yale, and no one ever opened them. And it was a different spelling, and it was correct. You know, yeah. So that's why we do redundant work. I mean, Gene Smith was very upset that we bothered. It probably took an extra 3 or 4 years of our staff in St. Petersburg to record all the extra copies.
Just think about what we.
But that's why you do it.
Just think about what we have to look forward to in Mongolia.
That's all on your head. Whether or not those 200,000 books are lost to all future generations, it's up to somebody whose initials are JB. No, I don't care. There was a what? A fire? They find them underground. You gotta get there. You gotta save those books.
Wow.
You gotta take, what's her name? Tisama. Last time they said that when we wanted to catalog them last time, they said no, and I sent Tisama. And they gave her the stuff in a glass, and she drank it. And it turned out to be fermented mare's milk, Christmas. And she drank it, and they all got drunk. And then they said, okay, just catalog it. It's okay. She's like, she talked them into it. I was like, congratulations. She's like, I gotta go throw up. I'll be right back. She was really sick for like 3 days. But they said yes. Then they took our $20,000 and disappeared. And we never got into that. We never got into the library. Yeah. They took the money and disappeared. Well, then the UN got in there and did something. I don't know what they did.
Yeah, they brought a scanner to the size of this table that nobody can use and figure out how to work. It just sits there.
It's UNESCO, I think. It's UNESCO, yeah. So we gotta do that library too. We just gotta take more cigarettes or something.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Solid. Okay, so that's our work today. We can start yoga. We've confirmed that one of the volumes in the unsplit volume stuff, which is supposed to be mostly new input, is not new input. But I think it is new input. You know, it might be interesting. Our work's not quite done because if it's a different typing of the same volume of the same edition, is it valuable?
Of the
Yeah,
important work, yeah.
yeah, it is. And that's our next job. So don't forget, next time we meet, which is tomorrow, you're the first one up tomorrow.
Okay.
We have to, what would be an easy way to find out if it's a different typing of the same volume? How can we confirm? Did Jason go back to the old archives and find the unsplit volume, which was his passion, and has some use? Before I split it up, did he go back and find that? Or did he ask them to retype the whole thing so that he could have the whole volume not split up? Which one? What would be a good way to find out? No, don't. You can't trust what somebody says. I mean, how can you compare these two? I would go look for that total misspelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yi Madru.
Yeah. I was thinking
Okay.
you could take
And
both.
see if the same mistake is in our version.
And the misspelling was YID.
I can do it right now.
Right
Actually.
ID. YID.
Look, Yi Madru. Where am I going to search? Our whole database. Okay? Because no one ever said that anywhere. The mind doesn't exist. No, I'll use this one here. This is our symbol. I don't have to worry, Jamia Shepa, blah, blah, blah. I just search. Because it's in ASCII, I can search 10,000 books in about 5 seconds. 1, 2, that didn't take that long. Sorry, no, this is a different one. There's something wrong here. Oh, no, I gotta do this. No, because it'll search the uncagged, they'll search 10,000 more books. It's not worth it. Here, this is it. Okay, here we go. You ready? Because we changed the date on it. Okay, now it's checking 10,000 books for the mind doesn't exist. That's the same mistake in a different book. Yep. Yep. Okay, we're going to skip that. That's in a different book. Wow. Now something significant has happened.
We've got a new typing.
We have a new typing of the same volume. Somebody retyped the whole thing just so they could have the whole volume. So now what's our responsibility?
We have to take that one and make sure that it goes in a different catalog number.
Yeah, same catalog number. And after the S, we put another letter.
Is there some way we could verify where this version came from?
It doesn't matter. It's the same volume. It's the same edition. It's a different typing. They are both E-level files. They've been checked 5 times. Yeah, now 10 times. Now, is there any use to cutting that out and putting it in a database again?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if one is misspelled, and then a scholar says, I don't think it could be, the mind doesn't exist. Okay, some scholar might say, let me check the other typing of the same edition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that also got through 5 levels of correction. That means the first 2 typists made the same mistake, which is unusual. But that, I remember that carving. It's so bad and unclear that there's an important principle about the input of ACIP data. It is done by people who cannot read it, and we prefer it because they don't make subconscious corrections. They type what's there as if they were an OCR machine, and they're not allowed to think. So I mean, they're not allowed to correct things on the fly because they'll be wrong. They'll make many, many mistakes. If your typists aren't geshes, you don't let them correct. You tell them, just type what you see. You know, then leave it to the geshes to correct it. You see what I mean? Because there are also weird words that are correct. Maybe there is a Yimadru somewhere. I would run a few more checks of some mistakes
Yeah.
and confirm that we have a different typing. And then, yeah, we do have to preserve both typings.
We could take both typings and run them through something that would give me all the differences.
We have programs like that at Sarah, which is what they use to compare the A file and the B file. I think WordPerfect does it. I mean, it's Word, Mac Word, Word for Mac. Teach them how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll cut the first one out tomorrow, and we'll compare them.
Okay.
Character by character. The machine will do it. If it's the same, we don't have to cut it out and catalog it. If it's different, we could assess the differences, or we could just put in the catalog. But if we go at this rate through a backlog of 10,000 books, and we've done one today, that's 10,000 sessions. We can have a session 2 a month. That'll be 50,000 months. That's 400 years.
500 years. Why is that 400 years?
That's why we have a backlog. Unless we have 400 well-trained people working, which would take a bit more money.
Job security for the next 400 years.
Okay, get my D.
Yeah, I dedicate.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That was
That means
interesting.
he's retyped. He just threw the volume up there and said type yesterday. You know how another way we could have known that? I'll tell you. I should have known that. If it's in JSON unsplit volumes under a TDS number, it must have been that he retyped it. Because those numbers didn't exist when we typed this stuff in. There were no here. There was no TC. Okay. So, you see what I mean?
We gotta get this. I'm gonna call him.
Oh.
I wrote him an email and he never got back to me.
Connected to other things. It's probably good. In a controlled way,
Especially if it is a job.
in a controlled way, I don't want to charge him because he couldn't even answer questions.
I should probably stop this. Okay.